What's up, Millers? Welcome to another installment of Hands-on Yukon. All right, in the last one we dissected some gills here. Right, we dissected an eyeball, found some cool stuff. Talked about how these structures related to their functions. Right, you guys talked about external anatomy in the previous one, about like anterior, posterior, dorsal, ventral sides of the fish. Talked about different fins, which I will refer to along the way when we make incisions. Okay, so today we're going to be jumping right into the guts of this situation. We are going to be looking at the organs, all kinds of goodies inside of here. Hopefully we can see a nice little membrane up inside where they keep their air for buoyancy. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. Alright, you're going to need your dissection scissors here. Alright, we're going to turn our fish on the back. I'm going to go ahead and explain to you what's going to happen. You can see right here, this would be the anus of the fish. We're going to make an incision straight from the anus all the way up through these pelvic fins, up into the chest cavity, up here of our perch. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start doing that. Remember these short incisions, try to keep your scissors pulled up close and keep your incisions short because you don't want to injure any internal organs here. Okay, be careful with the anal fin, you don't want it to poke you or cut you open. Okay. Then you might get to a point here where it gets pretty tough. There's a nice set of bones. Do not be afraid to get your hands dirty with this guy. Okay, so we've made a nice little incision right here. I'm even going to trace it back just a little bit, just to make our job a little bit easier. So we have a nice incision. Okay, we can't really see much yet, so we need to almost fillet this fish, if you will. So from the anus here, we're going to again insert our dissection scissors. Okay, we're going to try to just cut right along the skin. Okay, you're going to get some flesh with it, which is it's okay. Right underneath there. Again, trying to keep these guys kind of shallow. We don't want to injure any of the organs that are under here that we're going to get to look at. Tough cut right here. I'm going to go in on the belly side of this pectoral fin and straight up to just about that lateral line. Alright, we should be able to take this piece now and peel it back and up. Okay, if you need to go ahead and get your scissors out to make a few extra little incisions here, that's okay. Sometimes cuts don't go as deep as you think. It's better to be shallow and have to recut than to be too deep. You're going to cut through some ribs up here, so it's going to be kind of powerful. You're going to need to really get after those scissors. Alright, and this fish has some pretty big fillets on it. It's kind of cool. We're going to just cut that flat back. And just make a mess of it real quick and maybe just clean this up on the front side too, just to give you guys a better view while we're doing this on camera. Alright. We got some pretty nice looking organs up in here. Alright, we can see that there's a lot of fat around these organs. That's a good thing. Healthy looking fish. Alright, I'm going to get my probe out and take a look at some stuff. You can see the very first thing you're probably going to see is this guy right here. Okay, it's kind of a almost a brownish gray color. That would be your fish's liver. It'll be the very first thing that you see when you open this guy up. Again, that liver, it just helps to filter out some of the blood in the fish or some toxins that may get built up in the fish. Alright, so that's really nice. You'll be able to see some different things in here. There's got some stomach down here. Remember, we cut from this anus area down here, so you're going to have some intestines that come to it. Alright, some really cool stuff up in here. Let's try to get through it all if we can. Alright, so right behind these gills, which is going to be tough to see, but you'll be able to do it. You might need to make some more incisions here, real lightly. We're looking for the heart right now. Okay, it's going to be right behind the gills. It's going to be like a grayish color, really dark color. I'm going to dump some of this fluid out. We have forceps here. Okay, so let's push back some of this stuff. So right here, I know it's tough to see. Maybe I'll pick it up. There's a nice little whoop. This part right here. This would be part of the heart. Okay, you can see some of the lobes. It's a two-lobed heart. Okay, it's got a ventricle and an atrium. Alright, see what we can do about cutting this guy to see it a little better. Alright, now we can really take a good look at it. Here you go, this guy right there, that's your heart. Okay, remember this big guy right here, this lighter gray colored thing, this is the liver. Okay. Move on through here, you'll see some different intestines. Alright, pretty cool. I'm going to pull some of these guys out so we can get a look at what else is in here. You'll see a little sac right behind here. This would be your stomach. Alright, we'll get to that guy in a little bit. Move this stuff out of the way. Okay, there's a nice old air bladder up here, if you can see it. Let's see what we can do. Let's cut some of these organs out of the way. I'm going to cut some of these intestines out, full of some fish poo. You can see if we down here you might find some cool stuff. Keep looking. I'm just going to go ahead and separate this stomach and just to get out of the way, and maybe we'll just dissect it while we're waiting here. There's some little things that look kind of like fingers. Alright, helps in some digestion processes. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and cut this stomach. Maybe we'll find out what this fish ate. And we'll just kind of push it out here. What looks to be like another fish right here, a little baby fish. Looks like it's partially digested. Pretty gross if you ask me. There's a little fin right there. Yeah, some bone. Pretty gross, but also cool. Okay, so we know that this fish was eaten pretty well. That's probably why it got so big. Cool, I'm just going to move this guy off to the side. Awesome. And we talked about this liver already. I'm going to go ahead and cut it out of the way. Right, nice big liver. Put it over here. We can examine it in a little bit if we need to. Okay, again, there's lots and lots of organs down in here. I'm going to remove this other side so we can just see them all. In your dissection, you should probably only remove one side. You can hear me cutting through that rib cage right there. Alright, now we're back up in here again. Can really get a good look at what's going on here. Again, you can see the two-lobed heart right here. Right, some lung action right in here. Also, right, we got some lungs. Okay, very nice. Always a good spot. See what else we can find in here. More lobes of the liver. Lots of intestines in here. And just cut those out of the way for now. Again, there's always a lot of adipose tissue, that fat tissue, wound up around these guys. Aids in some nutrients. Alright. We'll cut this little swim bladder open. This one has quite a big swim bladder. Very cool. We'll just pull it out for you. Okay. So this part right here is what enables that fish to float. They can fill it with air or oil, and it helps keep its buoyancy neutral. So instead of having to swim up or swim down, it can just inflate the sac a little bit or deflate it. Alright, so we've gone over some stomach, some intestines, we've got some liver, the heart, those finger-like projections that we talked about earlier, these things that look like little fingers sticking out. Let's see if I can find one that's still together. Where did you go? Well, we remember what they were. Here they are. I knew I saved them. These guys that are spread out like little fingers, these were called pyloriceca. Right, and those again, just another organ inside the fish to help it along its way. So, overall, that was your fish dissection. We get to see a lot of internal anatomy here. Okay, we saw the gills, we saw an eye, we got to examine all of the organs. While you're doing this in lab, you're obviously going to want to be extra careful. Take time to examine each one of these organs on their own. Okay, think about what they do and how their structure plays a vital role in how they function. Okay, or maybe how their function helped them help determine their structure. Okay, excellent job. I can't wait to see you guys again at another Hands-on Yukon. I hope you have a great time during your fish dissection and a great day.